Hey there, Flunky Force, it's Game Flunky, and today we'll be bringing you another Divinity Original Sin 2 video. Like the Enchanter video, this video will consist of us talking about a certain class, strength, weaknesses, how maybe you should play, and where do you go from there, as far as armor, weapons, things I actually didn't touch up on with the Enchanter. Bear in mind though that it is still in its alpha stage, so as a course of time over the next several months, as it transitions from alpha to beta, it's going to change. Some of the key points are probably still going to be the same. It's still going to be whatever it is when it originally was released. But the style might change, the points might change, depending on how Larian Studios feels they should go. So just bear in mind, what I say now may not hold water the next couple months. But it's still a good idea to know your classes. Especially if you want to create your own custom build, which I really don't think there is one. I think they should have had that. Like, cause like you know how before I said that you can have an origin story, like a custom one that you know with no past or anything. But don't worry about that. Okay, so today's class we'll be working on is the Knight. The Knight is a specialized in war tactics. Knights are trained not only to fight but to rally troops. All right, their main attributes are strength and constitution. As before, strength adds 1 point of 50 as damage to your melee attacks. Constitution for your health. Sorry guys, I'm just a little out of it today. Anyway, the main abilities that consist with Knight is Warfare, Two-Handed, Physical Armor, and Leadership. Which is pretty much what it's saying. Yeah, living up to its title. Passive talents are Opportunist, Ingenious, Human Resolve. So, let's set up, obviously Warfare. Now, Two-Handed, you don't really... This right here, in my own opinion, because I know the Warfighter thing... Hold on. I know the other one... let me see. Ranger. Nope, my bad. Fighter. I know Fighter is shield and sword. And it's war. With this one though, they have magic in it. Geomancer. I don't know if that's like that with the first one. But getting back to this, in my own opinion, if you're it pretty much falls in the same thing as the Fighter. The only key difference is two-hand instead of shield and sword. If you want my opinion, honestly, if I were you, I would take a point out of this and put it in this. Alright, just put it in single-handed. Honestly, that's the only difference. As far as when I tell you guys change your meta, that's the only thing I would change. If you're not happy with the two-handed style, if you just want the defense, because this class pretty much deals with bolstering your ranks while dealing with enemies. So it doesn't really mean it's a defensive character in the same regard as a shield bearer. It's more of like it boosts your team with status buffs. For instance, Rage generates or guarantees critical strikes and increases movement speed at the cost of decreased resistance and dodging. Alright, you can get another one where it looks like you're yelling like Rage, but it bolsters like endurance or encourages them to fight better, so it increases damage or defense. So if you got a guy who's always going to be stuck in the fray and not hiding in the back like an Enchanter or something, then it's good to have someone that has a shield, in my opinion, a shield and sword instead of a two-handed weapon. I mean, that's what I would think. So anyway, going back. Okay, so we got Warfare, two-handed. I said you can switch it around. Alright, so it is a defensive character. It obviously already has physical armor, which is good. Don't change that. Leadership, again, all these but this one pretty much go with this build. Same with the stats. They really, I mean, you gotta give Larian credit for making it really well fleshed out classes, because physical armor, obviously, your main tanky build. If you really wanted to make this thing really stupid, like brokenly stupid, because remember, when you have teammates and you can give them abilities such as leadership or passive talents or passive abilities leadership, so you could get rid of leadership and put magical armor on this. So instead of boosting leadership, you pretty much make this thing like, you know what I'm saying, like a walking bomb, because it's gonna hit like a freight train and increase the physical armor and magical armor. So okay, so besides two-handed be switched out, you probably could get rid of leadership, put magical armor in. But anyway. The same thing goes for the skills as it does leadership, though. It's best used when you're in the fray and you're at the front line, and everybody's working around you. Because when I play games like WoW, my mentality because I tanked all the time, would be to hold that front line so that the other classes, like the other DPS or DPS, can work its way around me. Because you're meant to pretty much quote unquote hold aggro. There are skills though that help you with aggro as well, drawing attention from enemies to you from your other companions, you should say. So leadership is good. I mean, unless you don't want to change anything, keep leadership. It actually does really good. Like I said before, there are companions that have this already, so you might not need this if you don't want it. Okay, so we all know all these. You know Warfare's 3 skills. Warfare has the buffs, the physical buffs that you can apply to your teammates, and buffs that you can use, or debuffs you can use against your enemies. So, but Warfare is a physical skill set, so they do have to pass a physical check. Because if your enemies have a high physical armor, those debuffs might not apply. I sound like I'm like on IGN. Hey guys, this is John from IGN. Today we're going to be talking about Divinity Original Sin 2. Sorry. Passive talents like Opportunist gives the ability to perform attacks of opportunity. Okay, so you might have seen this in some of the Let's Plays I was doing before with this game, where if I'm in front of an enemy, there's a circle, my circle, which shows my movement away, and then the enemy circle, which almost looks like an arrow pointing towards me. That's called an attack of opportunity, meaning if I walk within that area of circle around that enemy, they can attack me if I'm close enough. That's what that means. So that's good to have if you're like, again, if you're in the fray and you're front line and you can't hold everyone in, but if you got an enemy walking past you to hit somebody weaker or whatever, you have a chance of hitting them and pretty much killing them if they're not careful. There has to be a reason why they're moving away from you. So basically, and if you're engaging someone and you disengage, you can hit them too. Or they can hit you. Same thing goes for you though. Ingenious rewards you with 2 wisdom and plus 3%. Oh, 2 wits and plus 3% critical chance. Alright, let's see, where would I see wits at? Wits is pretty much your initiative, how soon you can attack. Alright, so that's not bad. Would I, well, you really, a genius is a human thing, so you can't really do anything about that. And then adds +1 to leadership. So I guess you kind of are stuck with leadership. But, hold on. Because I didn't think about this before. Alright, so the lizard has sophisticated. That's great for mages. I'm not even going to... +2 strength. See, I would have thought this guile would have gone with great with humans. I mean, that's just my opinion. But the sturdy alone... See, that don't make no sense to me because, see, this right here don't make sense to me, and let me tell you why. All right, so they give the passive talent of sturdy and dwarven guile. So let's look at sturdy for like 2 seconds. If you go to customize, I wonder if you can take sturdy off. No, you can't sturdy because sturdy is a racial trait. Sorry. So, oh, everybody gets opportunist. All right. If you're using a class that's not meant to be fought up front and you have this on, take this off. You don't need this. You should not be engaged in physical combat unless you're, unless you're really in a shitty spot. All right. No. Okay. So say this is what I'm saying though. This right here. If you're gonna give them this, take away this. All right. Or give something else to this because if you look at dueling is affected by finesse, I think. Finesse and dodge. So, if you're a sneaky character, but if you got 2 strength, why would you need the dwarven guy? See, that makes sense to me. See, that's my one big complaint. But, if you're using a dwarf, you got 2 extra strength attack, right? 2 extra strength to add to your physical attack. So, it's a physical character. So, if I were you, this is probably your best race for this class. If you're trying to go all out balls to the wall, like, physical attack. So, yeah, dwarf would probably be your best race to go with this. So Dwarven Guile plus Sneaking, I ain't really worried about it if it's going with the Knight class. Now let's look at your skills. Okay, so I said before you had Rage. You got, excuse me, got a burp, sorry. Crippled the target with on all non-allied characters around. Deal 53 to 62 damage. Crippled pretty much fucks up you walking, like you can't walk that far. Alright, and it costs 2 action points. Not really much to that if they hit for it. Remember, if the person that you're hitting has a high physical armor, it has to go through the check. There's a chance the damage will be low, and a chance they might not get crippled. Alright, rush forward in a straight line to a point far away, hitting all enemies in your path with 35 to 42 physical damage. 100% chance of knockdown. And again, knockdown means that that person, once they get knocked down, take a lot of damage, so... I honestly, God, this right here, battering ram, could be a game changer. I was playing a little further in the alpha in my private, my own private character, and one of my companions, the Red Prince, I think he is a knight, and his ability is the battering ram, if I remember. No, he's the other one, but basically, battering ram is a game changer. Reason being, because if you got somebody doing heavy, let's say somebody doing heavy DPS damage, let's say a boss. The one, you can knock down people in a straight line, so anybody's in your way, they're pretty much knocked down unless they have a high physical check. 2, you can reach somebody in the back that's hiding away, like a very strong spellcaster. So this ability, or this class, is really very, very decisive and a great way to break up the enemy ranks. So if you're fighting a large group and they're kind of like coming up on top of you, knocking them down could because now the armor and the physical, because now the magical armor and physical armor have changed in this game as far as where you can see them. So if you look at the health bar when you're fighting, you'll see a white bar, which is physical armor, and blue bar, which is magical armor. If you're able to knock them down, I guarantee that's going to take a lot of physical armor away, and then you can peel it off eventually over time. And because you're smashing through the group and reaching whatever you're trying to reach in the back, it can really turn the tide of battle. But that goes for your enemy as well. Remember, every ability and thing you have on your classes and your characters applies to the world around you. So remember, keep in mind, enemies could have your skills as well. So be careful. And it has a very large cooldown, 5 turns. 3 turns, requires melee weapon, cripple, prevents target from walking or running. Oh, so it totally stops them from walking or running, alright? So a lot of these abilities, excuse me, a lot of these abilities are very, I think a lot of them are like, a lot of them are very long cooldowns. So that could end up put you in a tight spot. If you're gonna play this, I actually all skilled out, but that's not really what I'm worried about. I'd take this one, but that's just one that's really good for this class. Will probably be. Oh, Leech is a good one because you can stand in blood and you're always doing damage. That's good. Picture of Health gives you extra vitality 3% for every point in warfare. Dude, I did not see this last time. Yeah, this is great too. Picture of Health. Picture of Health gives you extra vitality plus 3% for every point in warfare. Yeah, this really? Hold on, can I take that out? I'm just curious. Dude, I honest to God, I would do this. Now, I guarantee your vitality went through the roof with this one. Yeah, you would have to. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, that's awesome. So to guess, guys, this is the Knight class. Like I said before, it's about bolstering the ranks, breaking up enemy ranks, and because and remember, enemies can have the same powers and abilities as you do. So bear in mind. The best way to counter this class, though, honestly, I don't think any class in this game is going to have both physical and magical armor as a passive attributes or passive abilities. So unless they're a boss, and in which case, dance if you want to. You could, yeah. So what I would do basically to counter this class, in my own opinion, was you can't knock them down, but you can stun them. It's a magical check. Just stun them and just peel them away. Hit them with magic first. If magic doesn't do anything, if physical doesn't, use poison, things like that. But stun this or freeze this class and just peel them off. Melee classes are weak against magic. Just keep that principle in mind. Don't freak out when you see somebody battering ramming you, because that's all we need is a door freaking out with a giant two-handed sword. Alright guys, it's been another introduction into Divinity Original Sin 2. I'll put a link in the description below for the first class, the Enchanter. I might do a couple more classes, but they're pretty much about in the same degree of how they work as far as the melee and magic classes. I might do Shadowblade and Rogue next, because basically it's broken up into twos as far as how they work to counterpart each other. Knights and fighters, and then like enchanters and wizards. There's a lot of magical classes actually in this one. So yeah, I might touch up some more of them. I might not though, because as it changes, the game might change, classes might change. I might get rid of some, they might add some, I don't know. But yeah, I'll have part 2, the first part of the Enchanter, one I did, and the link below. And I'll also, I'll be doing the next video to the series for Oxenfree, or I might do an H1Z1 video for King of the Hill. I just downloaded that. That was like on sale, so. I don't know, guys. I'll see you next time, you beautiful bastards. I love you. Take it easy. Game Flunky signing off. Bye-bye. You thought I would stop talking. Ha! Silly goose. I never shut up. I talk all the time. I'll be in your head, man. Like and subscribe, guys. See you next time. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. You